Hi, my name's David Hill and I was a Paralympic athlete for 15 years. There's lots of skills and attitudes that I learned as a result of being an athlete. But one thing particularly that I learned was about goal setting. And I think this is really important because it's a good skill for athletes to learn, but also can be so relevant in the workplace, in schools and everyday life. One skill I learned was the ability to reflect back on old goals and also take confidence from the things that I've already achieved and be really proud about where I came from and the small achievements that I've already accomplished. So for example, these are my swimming badges. I started collecting these from about the age of 3, and I really appreciate that actually at the time these were really important, and each step allowed me to progress on to the next step, and I wasn't trying to think too far ahead. I think it's really important that we can be proud of all the tiny things that we've achieved and also take a lot of confidence already in the things that we've already achieved so far. So I did something really simple as an athlete, which I still do today, and that is writing down 5 things that I'm going to achieve every single day. Now, I don't set myself up to fail with these things. I make sure they're really realistic and highly achievable. And that's because I want to spend a little bit of time at the end of my day sitting down and reflecting and acknowledging the accomplishments that I've achieved that day. And that process is going to give me that little bit of confidence and that boost in motivation to then go forward to the next day and set another 5 goals and keep the momentum going week in, week out. Often these tasks need to be done in a little bit of a priority order as well. So maybe I'll start with actually the hardest task in the day out of those 5. So the one that requires me to be the most energetic, or perhaps the most alert, or the one that my concentration is at its best. So that I'm fresh, I achieve the hardest thing, and from there, my day will hopefully get easier. When it comes to goal setting, the most important thing to do though is write it down. I believe by writing it, it almost makes it real as well. It becomes less of a dream and something you're actually going to achieve. A popular way of writing down goals is a ladder diagram. So outlining, you're at the start, you're at the base of the ladder, and the goal that you want to achieve is at the top. But actually putting in every rung as a tiny goal in order to reach the top. And at the Dame Kelly Holmes Trust, we like to promote a little bit of creativity, and we engage our young people to draw their own ladder and how many rungs that they want, or how long they want this ladder to be, i.e. timescales. So this really gives you an opportunity to be flexible about your goals, but really own it. I also advise you to set goals in lots of different areas of your life. So for me, it might be a sporting goal, but actually I might have financial goals. I might have personal goals. I might have different learning goals. I might have different kind of giving back to my community goals, for example. This is because from my perspective, I don't think it's great to be putting all our eggs into one basket. So therefore, having numerous goals in different areas of your life allows you to broaden your identity. And perhaps when one thing therefore doesn't work out, at least you've got some other things happening in your life which are really good and you can focus your energy on. When I set goals, I'll try and think about every area. So what, where, when, how, and why. If you can hand on heart answer those 5 questions about that goal, then you'll be absolutely unstoppable. So another aspect of goal setting to think about is what is your driver? What's really motivating you and wanting to achieve this goal that you've perhaps outlined? Is it the fear of failure? Is that what you're motivated by? Is it just wanting to be the very best that you can be and striving towards success? But once you've perhaps identified what you want your goal to be, I'd maybe encourage you to introduce a little bit of imagery and imagine yourself actually achieve that goal. And what does that feel like? Is that what you wanted it to feel like? Is that what you imagined? And maybe thinking about that will help you outline what that process therefore might look like. I've always used a team around me as well when setting goals. So the one way I like to think about this is kind of like the helping hand. So I imagine that I am the person on basically like the palm. I'm in the middle of the goal, but I've got these 5 key people around me. And it's really good to identify who is in team you. So who is in your team? Who are the best people that are there to support you? Perhaps not the closest people, but the best team. And lastly, it's a really popular question I get about how I keep motivated towards achieving my goal. Because it might be a long-term goal. Maybe you've got a 4-year target, maybe even a 10-year target. And that is really difficult to stay motivated. And this is where I use the metaphor of climbing a mountain. And that might even be your goal. But imagine you're 2/3 of the way up this mountain and you're really struggling to find the energy and the determination and the drive to carry on for the last third. What I would say to you is sit down for a minute, turn around and really appreciate and take in how far you've come so far. And this is where my story does a little bit full circle. So really appreciating where we started, how far you've come. And then once you've thought about that, that will conjure up all the energy and motivation you need once you've appreciated how far you've come already to then continue forward and keep trying to reach your goal. So I really hope you can take on board some of my top tips to do with goal setting and very practically put those into your life right now. I wish you all the very best in achieving your goals and being the very best that you can be. Thank you once again very much for listening.